Right, Brian, I'm gonna try and-
Right. We will get the July 24th service committee underway. We got about 1 minute after 6. We'll do a call to order, roll call.
Cosgray,
Present.
Foreman,
Present.
and Schaffner is absent.
Excuse, I think what we call it, excuse.
Yeah, excuse me.
Also in attendance from Mayor Reedy, we got Chuck Keller and okay, and Ms. Litz is our new council person. Welcome. Oh, great. Very come in. So can I get a approval for the minutes for the June 26th meeting?
Or makes a motion to approve it as written.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye. 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 You already have it. File those for posterity. Minutes from the previous meeting. Do we have any visitors for the meeting? No. So we'll go on to the standard goals. We have the goals for the committee, the 5-year plan for streets, wastewater treatment plants, water treatment plants, and the ions. As of with the last committee, the new village administrators working on that. We're making progress. So we move on to reports, village departments, since the village administrator is not here.
No, it's been excused.
So the committee does have the village administrator's report and the emails. So going over requests for parks and pools,
The VA report.
yeah, the beer report.
I was kind of curious, and we're probably not here, I guess we haven't gotten the metrics for quite some time. I'm wondering if he's gonna be able to produce the metrics as far as missing water, overflows and
Right.
here.
So we can ask Brian, he's got that Excel spreadsheet. Does he have the same sort of one that the,
When Terry left, we don't know where it's at. We've looked and looked. Tim Little looked. I looked.
okay,
I mean, we might be able to find something, and I know what you're talking about. You're talking about you punch numbers into a spread. Can I create anything?
Use the old one for a template and then just,
But we got the problem is we have to find them. We have to find that in the share folder somewhere.
Find it and recreate it. I mean, I know recreate, it sounds like a terrible task, but I mean, it's information. That's the primary obligation of the village administrator is to report to the council on the performance of the water plant, the sewer plant, and the street department.
I might be able to reach out to Terry and see if she could tell me more.
Which
Or
is
do you have a hard copy?
Well, it's one of those you put numbers in
Sure.
and it formulates when you want you put
Once
it
the
in.
template created, in the
Then you just-
spreadsheet, all you're really doing is updating this month's number.
That part's the easy part.
Yeah.
Sure.
Is finding the spreadsheet to input the numbers in to get that information. Metric. What kind of metrics do you want?
I mean,
The ones that we got before.
the missing water,
Yeah.
the overflows at the sewer plant. Who's paid their, how many people were delivered on their bills, how many turnoffs? What's the outstanding balances on the list of bills?
I do know the $5 door tag was a big help. I don't know how many door tags were, but everyone pays within the next couple of days. And it goes down from like using an old example. Like if we issued 50 door tags, 45 would pay
Right.
within the next, so they're catch up their bill.
$5 penalty has
Mhm.
sped things up a little bit.
Yes.
But I guess I'd like to be able to see that and something you can sit there and analyze and determine whether it's
we should be able to go better or worse or
Yeah, I mean,
from
the spreadsheet's
Terry
gotta
that
be
they're probably 18 months.
As
Okay.
long as you can get an old one that's basically a template.
Yeah.
you just-
I'm sure there's one, but see, that was something Terry always did, and I never really paid attention where she put it. I know where mine is, so there might be one out there. I don't know.
I don't really have any, I didn't see anything in the printed report or the email report that was alarming or outstanding. We can move on to village departments, I guess, the Parks and Rec Board. We haven't convened one, right? So that's kind of been tabled.
I thought somebody had a meeting.
Did they? Like with
As far as I know, they've not had that meeting. I mean,
Oh,
he had one with a couple of them.
okay, I thought they had a meeting and some didn't show up or something.
Again,
Yeah.
yeah, some of them.
no, there was like, say, a quorum for a true. That Parks and Rec Board, that's a new thing that we're standing up because we're not sure we did away with the old one.
Right,
So
thank
it still kind of hasn't gelled yet.
Yeah.
We could go to BDRC stuff. Randy, you have anything?
Yes, actually, we met, Rosati came in today and we went through the building. So phase one, I believe, is set to begin August, September. But I know that we have 22 windows that will be installed in that first phase, which means to the tune of around 25,000. And that's the first of the 4-year plan.
Right.
And essentially, the windows that are going to be purchased, that will be about half. So we should be well within our budget, within that allotted 4 period.
Excellent.
He said that he could get it done in half the time.
Correct. So, and it was a really good meeting. So
Sounds great.
Before you move on, Parks and Recreation, can I ask something? What are they doing wrong taking all the trucks back there? What are they hauling back there?
I went by the pool today and I saw that. It looks like they're putting gravel back there.
Okay, I'm gonna go back and look. I just wonder, is the village?
They might be-
Gravel?
Huh?
Is the village paying for this gravel or what? There's about 4 or 5 semis been going back there.
I haven't got a PO request for any gravel, so
Okay.
I don't know if
So like gravel in our parks and then you that.
I saw that too. I had to go to the pool today to drop something off for Emma, one of our managers, and when I saw that there was all new gravel there, and I was like,
Trying to bulk in material.
Are they staging there for the work that they're doing on gravel?
I didn't see anything back there.
They're going to drive back.
All I saw was new gravel. All I
Spread
saw
out.
was spread out
In like the driveway or the parking. lot
between the
spot.
parking lot and Gordon Avenue.
All right.
Okay.
But if we did that, I'm not aware because I haven't had a PO request.
So the ball teams might have done it, but they didn't even say, hey, we're gonna add gravel to the park here.
That's a good possibility. I don't know. I don't know that.
No.
Are you sure?
That's what he thinks.
Yeah, they don't have that kind of money,
Well,
probably.
it looks so, but
I don't know the answer to that question, Rick. I really don't.
I
You
know.
think they'd at least mention it.
You would think.
I guess that's the reason we need a parks and recreation committee.
Going back to Parks and Recreation, they need to get on board, I tell you, they just do where they want to do something. That's all I
It's
had.
getting worse, not better.
I don't know. I really don't know. I know that a couple organizations have paid their dues. Baseball did. Football did. I know that the swim team did. But the other two, softball and soccer, don't know. I know they haven't yet. I don't know if he's been in touch with them. I don't know.
Any other questions from the village departments? We've got the village administrator report we kind of looked over. Parks and Rec, we're kind of just discussed that. ERC is going to put in some windows. We go to old business then. East side drainage project. I know we were waiting on V3 to walk through there to get some cooperation with landowners.
Yeah, I know I sent an email a while back and haven't heard back, and I know we got it. So they are doing something. I did get an invoice last month. I'll have to fire up an email to Mr. Crane. Find out what's up with that.
Anybody got any questions on that?
No, but what are we doing out there with Mr. Stitzline's area? Does anybody know that?
As far as I was aware,
Directed, Mr. Fago to get an easement.
yeah,
Got it.
yeah.
I thought we were just waiting.
Didn't we say that they could start working on it in the meantime? They give them kind of permission to start working on that as they could.
The way that it was left in the minutes, it was unclear as to whether the village is doing the work or whether the homeowner is doing the work. When they came to us, all they really asked us to do was pay for the larger tile so their contractor could install it and accommodate us. And the only caveat that I thought we should add would be get an easement now, so if it needs maintenance in the future, that we would be able to go in and maintain.
To try that up.
So I'd say easement first, approve the purchase of the pipe second.
But didn't he say yes, but she maybe
He
said
didn't know
maybe?
the answer, so
Yeah.
I'd say if Mr. Fago drafts the easement and gives it to them, we'll have our answer. They'll either sign it or they won't.
Yeah, I don't imagine any real pickups with that.
I can't imagine it either. I mean, if you're going to allow that large tile to go through there, you understand that we may need to go in and maintain it in the future.
Wasn't there a question about the third party?
The third party was his wife.
That was the third party. I understand that she was one of the parties.
Yeah,
Okay. So,
and like I say, I think we also need to clarify whether we're just paying for more expensive pipe or whether we've taken on the obligation of installing it at this point.
I agree.
So that ball gets kicked to the village administrator for ironing those details out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, once we find out what they got.
Right. Right. Anything else? So we can move on to new business. We've got an ordinance and a resolution on the agenda. So we'll go first to ordinance. Ordinance number 2023-13. Ordinance to amend the 23 appropriations. It looks like that's for the purchase or the acquisition of property next to the park.
Foreman makes a motion, we send this to council for consideration.
All right, that's 3 seconds. All in favor, say aye. Aye. So we are going to send from the committee to council ordinance 2023-13.
And sponsoring this.
Performance sponsor, yes. And then the next one is a resolution authorizing the village administrator to submit for grant applications.
Foreman makes a motion to start bringing forward this to council for consideration.
I'll second that. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Forwarded to council. 2023-14 resolution.
And this,
Look for grants.
This is for the grant to try to reimburse us for the purchase.
which depending on what gets in there, we don't know. Jeff had an email attached with this. I don't think he wants this passed as an emergency.
I wasn't going to
Hang on.
want to do either of them by emergency if we could avoid it.
Well, that's what I mean, because when you apply for these grants, they want to make sure it's on the agenda for so many times and that kind of stuff.
It went through the normal process.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think anything like this should absolutely go through the full process.
I didn't see emergency.
Right.
Well, the ordinance doesn't carry, it don't have to carry emergency language because it's already been, that appropriations have been established last year. This is just to amend them. But I think part of this, we don't know. It could be a caveat of things from acquiring things for the park. I'm not sure that, I think we're going to try to get reimbursed as much as we can
Right.
for the purchase, but
That's all drawn up within the grant request from the village administrator.
Did you find that email?
It doesn't say that. Found it, but it doesn't say.
So we've got ordinance and a resolution from the committee going to full council. Is there anything else to come before the committee before we adjourn?
I have nothing.
All right, next meeting will be August 28th at 6 p.m.
Want me to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll second. All in favor, aye. Aye. Adjourn. So, after.
I'm gonna try to find that email.
What he said, he didn't say that he didn't make. Specifically.
He said attached, oh, okay. He said the attached resolution should be included on the service committee and should be kept on the agenda until passage. I don't know if, I think he meant council on that.
But we will certainly find out in a little bit.
I'm just kind of moving slow here, moving into your so early. All right.
We might have to have a cheeseburger or something.
I guess, do you want me to go ahead and begin, or would you like me to?
30? I wonder sometimes if moving forward, we couldn't move council to 7 and have a half hour committee meeting, a half hour committee meeting. I mean, not tonight, because you have to make it public, you have to make the public aware of it, but I mean, in the future, we can maybe do
Sometimes
things
we
up.
can,
We'd
sometimes
have
we
to ask
don't.
Mr. Franco if he can make it. I know, like, for Brian, sticking around after work, it makes it a little bit full, would be probably helpful.
Just out of curiosity, before we go into, how about if we do a search, because we should be able to do a search. I still have all those things from Terry in here, like the water metrics.
Are we gonna put the meeting on hold for right now?
We haven't started yet.
You want me, I can put everything on
I'm
hold
gonna
right
leave
now.
that up to the mayor, whatever you'd like to do.
Okay, pause recording.
6:45 or a meeting following. That's where it says on the agenda.
Right, so however you would like for me to proceed. Us to proceed.
Let's get to 6:30, maybe somebody else show up.
So until then, we can go ahead and do a search on water metrics and see if we can find out. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna
Video.
do this next time.
And just for good measure,
It is illegal. It's also hard to track down because with a check valve, smoke testing doesn't let it out. So you almost have to dye test and you go check the manholes to see, but then you have to get in the house to do it. But
All right, so it is about 6:30. I'd like to go ahead and call the safety committee meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Curry,
Present.
Keller,
President,
Litz.
And also in attendance, we have Mayor Darla Reedy, we have Police Chief Mike Tussey, Fiscal Officer Brian Bittler, we also have other council members, Rick Foreman, and we have Wade Cosgrave with us as well. Approval of the minutes.
I look them over. I make a motion, we approve the minutes of June 26th.
And I'll second that. I read over the minutes. Visitors, we do not have any visitors tonight.
You gotta take a vote.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes, we need to vote on approval of the minutes. Please. Roll call.
McCreary,
Yes.
Keller,
Yeah.
Litz.
Stay. This evening, visitors, we do not have any visitors present tonight. 2023 goals, 0 workplace accidents, we've met that. 0 fatal accidents, we have also met that.
That's still good. Chief,
Is that correct? Thank you. Reports, village administrator, he is not here this evening. Police department, reports, please.
Thank you. Officers Molina, Farmer, and Holm completed their school resource officer certification training in Cincinnati. So they are certified now, which helps us a lot of different ways, one of which is liability issues. If we ever have to, if we have something to go into school, we'd have to defend the officer. We can show that they've had the certification in the state of Ohio. This is something that's been going on for a long time, and probably I'm looking around and Chuck's probably the only one that really remembers this, but we have had problems with door 1 at the police department, the overhead garage door, on and off for years. And I had Woodside Door come out, take a look at it. They've done most of our work at the building when we've needed things done. Checking the door was installed in 1998. So it is worn out. The door is now where the panels are, they're cracked up the middle, so it's slowly starting to tear itself apart when it goes up and down. To the point now that it pops out and binds itself, and that has burnt out the opener. So the opener is completely fried. Because that is a commercial door, I start to say and nothing's cheap anymore. The opener for that, to get an opener in there that will handle the size door that we need, which is basically a commercial door, insulated door, is going to cost $1,000 for the opener. That's the opener and the install. The door itself to replace it is $2,500. I have the invoice from him, the quote, I should say, from him on that. But he has said that door at this point is not safe to open or use or anything like that. So it's my humble opinion. I think that, if we're going to be in that building for another few years, whatever it may be, if we got service out that door from 1998 to now, replacing the door is probably a bargain. But I need some input what council wants to do.
Well, my opinion, you can't have an open door all night, so we need to get it fixed,
Well, we were able to get up on ladders and pull it
Well, we're
down, and he put a lock on it so we could slide like
Well,
that.
so you do have it down, but
Yeah.
now you can't use
No,
that
you
bay.
can't do anything with it. So,
I agree. I think it needs fixed.
Yeah.
It seems like in order to access that.
he told me he's actually booked about 6 weeks out, but he said, since it's for like police or fire or whatever, he'll step it up in 2 to 3 weeks. He can probably get it in and get it installed. So, all right, if that's what you want, then I will advise him to get that ordered and get that slated.
Okay, we'll have Brian finance, okay?
We budgeted, we budgeted money for repairs and maintenance of building and land, so.
Well, I just,
Because I don't think we used much of the budget last year for repairs
Lands and buildings. I know we didn't really
for police.
use any.
Well, I'll need that estimate.
I'm sorry.
I'll need that.
I'll write it right for you. I sent you this also on, I sent you an email with this.
You did?
Let's see, we were completely out of parking signs, which I have no idea. I think these things get legs and walk away because I just ordered like 250 last year. I don't know where they go. But we lucked out that there was a place in Lancaster that had generic parking signs that somebody had ordered and then stiffed them. So they sold them to us for $0.25 a piece. So we got a really good deal on those. We bought all they had of them. And then they're black. They're not like the ones we usually use before. I thought that was for like Tim and whatever, if they're closing roads or doing whatever, those things would be great for that. They don't have to write on do what you want. And then through, what's that called? Is it Fleer? What's the name of that place? Clean. Through Clean.
Oh, I know I talked to Brett today. He said you guys go buy those from North End Press.
Yeah, we bought those. And then,
Okay.
And then, so anyway, Clean is apparently who we got the regular signs through. And I called and it was cheaper to order, believe it or not, cheaper to order 500 was ordered 300.
Yeah,
So-
I just took a guess on clean. So that's.
You did it wrong on that.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, that was it.
Okay.
So they had us on the list and they are a vendor already. So we should have, that'll give us about 750-ish in signs. So what we did is we took the signs, they now have between the stacks, when we take like the stack off finally, there's going to be things that says order more signs. So that's not like this happening. But, and you know, the service department uses a ton of signs because they've always got something where they're closing the street, they're doing something. So I think it's going to work out for everybody. We'll store them at the police department, and then the signs we got from Minuteman, I'll get with Tim, see if he wants to leave those over there too, if he wants to take them over to the service department and store them over there.
Now, when you put signs up for the Baltimore Festival, does that come out of your budget or the festival?
It's always come out of ours since I've been here. Yeah.
I
They,
know it's everybody, please.
well, we're used to kill us. But so we supply the signs. We had to buy, I think, about tomato sticks we were used to, and then I had to get 2 officers and pay them to come in to put signs on. So I got with them about 6 years ago or so, maybe a little longer, and I said, you know, it'd be a great thing for you guys to do, put the signs up. So we supply the signs. They go out, they put them up. We don't have anything in that other than we've got a couple places that we post. We do it because it's outside of normally where they would post. It's just because it's bottlenecks traffic or whatever. We don't post them in there. Car 4 is going to be going in for service to determine. It's got a miss that I don't know. It's in the motor. It almost feels like a shifting issue versus a miss. Those are all drive-by-wire cars. A computer controls when it shifts, computer controls the fuel, computer controls everything. So we took it down to Safeway. They did what they could with it, but he said probably going to have to take it to somebody that specializes in being able to check that computer that controls the, I can't remember what it's called now. So kind of a module that controls the computer shift points. And so we're going to be taking it down to Macio's and see what's going on with that. And other than that, that's kind of the highlights of what's going on.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. All right. Moving on. Business parking issues at the corner of Mulberry and Main. Where are we with that?
As I explained last time, I think that what council needs to make a decision on is I'm recommending that we yellow stripe that 6 foot back from the corner. And I think that will take care of the line of sight issues when people are pulling up there. That seems to be the biggest problem is when somebody pulls up tight and then somebody pulls them behind or they pull up there trying to go and if they turn and look, they're looking right at, especially these trucks, you can't see anything. So that would be my recommendation to council is to yellow strike that 6 foot back from the apex.
We have discussed this before, so how do we proceed with that? If that is your recommendation?
Why don't we just take the council and vote on it and get them done?
That's what I said.
And I think the other issue on this will occur until next year when ODOT does their thing, right?
And that's striping that we're waiting on them
To restripe it when they do the paving next year. Next year.
But are we gonna paint the parking that we talked about?
that, again, that's something you guys will have to decide. If it's already painted and they come in and paint it, they will repaint it for us. So if it's not painted already and they come in and repaint it, then it's up to us to paint. So
So I would say we probably need to get that done. Well, then it doesn't matter. We either paint it before or after they stripe.
The painting of the curb and in conjunction with the striping on Main Street?
And the parking.
Well, no, I didn't mean to confuse the issue. He's just saying paint now. The restriping of the Main Street itself is not going to occur until they do the next year.
Because that's actually.
Moving the center line.
Moving the center line over.
Because we can't do that, that's gonna be the state of the striping of the parking spaces. You're
we're
saying
responsible for that.
if we do that, then they'll repaint
They
them.
will repaint that, right?
Are we gonna paint the parking spaces on 11th Street as well?
I think that's part of our conversation on this, is Main Street. Because that was definitely one of the things that we talked about.
But we already have.
There's already park straight, or there's already marked.
North South Street.
Oh, you're talking about Mulberry.
Mulberry, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
On the side street there by the restaurant.
Because people pull in there and there's not room for a
Wait a
car.
minute. Mulberry or
Walnut. Yeah, well, we're talking about painting stripes and painting curbs, and I thought it
Oh,
made sense that we would do them all at once.
Sorry, I meant Walnut.
okay.
Oh, Walnut.
And so she wants parking spots painted on Walnut Street.
She was asking if we would. That was in the conversation we had. Because people that park odd there, and you can only get 2 cars beside the cafe instead of 3 because they park odd. They leave a half a car length in front or a half a car length in behind.
I'm trying to visualize having parking spots on this side and this side of Walnut and then 2 cars.
Everybody already does it. without the
It's
striping.
already parked like that anyway.
Yeah, everybody already parks like that without the technical striping.
Okay.
So we'll just be measuring it out, but then we have to decide. I think that was one of the points of conversation was the length and what did you say? The standard is,
Yeah, there's a standard
Standard.
of 20 foot on the length.
Okay.
So,
I'm questioning the 6 foot at Mulberry, Maine, that seems awfully short.
well, that's,
No, that's- Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, that's just from, that's from what was from my observation, how far did I have to pull forward in order to be able to see?
Oh, okay.
either
Because at
direction.
most intersections, that yellow part that you can't park is usually more like 20 feet.
And you could put it, I mean, you can make it anything you want.
I mean, I know we need all the parking over there we can get, but at most intersections, the yellow curve extends substantially more than 6 feet.
you have the pole, there's the post office box that's on that corner, so it's on the side of Juniper and Ivy,
And like if you go to the intersections where there is yellow curve, it usually
about
goes,
15 feet.
I thought it was 20. I mean, I've never put a
There's
table
a
on one.
standard.
I'm sure there's a standard.
We can measure this one down here on
Yeah.
Walnut, because
Like this one's more.
it's probably the longest one in town.
It's probably 20 for sure. I don't want to sacrifice parking spaces, but it is all about being able to see.
Safety,
Yeah,
especially on that hill.
right.
Okay, so it sounds like, we are painting the curb and proposing the standard, trying to do whatever has already been done over on Mulberry. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm pointing.
I knew, but yeah, I knew what you meant.
We had 2 conversations here, okay.
Walnut.
So, all right, so proposing
One conversation about
corner.
painting.
Yes, that corner on Mulberry and Main be similar, around 15 to 20 feet in length, as it is over here on Walnut and Market. Okay, then we kind of segued already into the business district striping, saying that we would like to bring that to council as well. As well as and including the portion over here on Walnut.
Oh, yeah, the striping up there.
Correct.
Yeah.
And as well as Walnut. So I'm being very specific.
I believe there was
Those two locations.
I believe there was a resident over on High Street that had approached either the police department or the village administrator about parking the head-in parking spaces on High Street as well, because there's a particularly long truck that pulls in there at a really strange angle and takes up like 3 spaces. I was told that they had approached either the police department or the village administrator.
Up by Basel Park,
Up by Balls Park on High Street.
where the church at the
Okay, yeah, I know what's that now. So you said that had people like.
So what are they asking for to make it?
They said it's head-in parking, but they were wanting the stripes so that the angle is determined because there's long trucks pulling in, taking up like 3 spots. So I don't know.
So possibly to change the angle of those, so instead of straight.
They're not straight, they're supposed to be like this, I believe.
Yeah, that's supposed to be angled parking if you look at the traffic map, I'm pretty
Right,
sure.
I don't believe it's supposed to be straight, it's supposed to be this, but the way there's a big truck that does this.
In other words, he parks along the curb almost.
Yeah.
Right. Which is what they-
And I know who you're talking about now, and the reason he does that is because it's like a dually cab with an 8-foot bed and a hitch on the back, and so he kind of gets it real strange in there, so it's not blocking the lane of traffic.
And his neighbors don't understand that. So I don't know. I guess the only reason to bring it up is because we're talking about painting, and are we hiring someone to come and paint all this, or we're gonna try to do it with our staff?
Well, initially, we had talked about trying to wait until the state was coming in when they were gonna reline, if they're going to reline.
No, this-
Keep the parking.
They're only gonna repaint whatever we've
They'll
already
repaint whatever
done.
we
They're
have.
not going to just do it for
No.
us.
Yeah, I thought that the idea was to get all the places that we're gonna get painted, have the company come in and do it all with one shot.
Right.
And that's why I'm saying, we need to make sure we get them all in this one.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
in one shot.
so High
Jump
Street,
around
you
town.
want to question mark.
Is that something Tim's department can do?
Well, that's what I was saying. We might want to see
Yeah.
if Tim can do some of that. I know they probably paint the curb. So you
I think they're a
only-
little overwhelmed right now.
Yeah, I think
They've got a lot on their plate.
you worked 40 hours just since Friday. And I know one year we actually had, community service people paint curbs. And last year we had community service paint fire hydrants, and that turned out really well. I think everybody agrees. Can they be tasked with something else? I mean, striping parking spaces might be a stretch, but the curbs at least maybe not. I think it was before you were here.
Somebody did, I can't remember. who did it.
I can't remember whether it was work release or community service. I think it was community service because they're not letting us use work release anymore because it's.
So we're questioning whether or not bringing individuals in that have required community service to do potentially the
curb.
painting of the curbs.
Yeah, maybe, I
And
don't
we're
know.
talking one. Are there any other curbs that have been brought up besides?
But if we did, maybe we should go through and paint some of them.
I mean, that's why I'm saying, because we're mentioning one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If we do get someone like we did with the fire hydrants, maybe we could knock out all these curves and make them all bright yellow again. And then add in the ones we're talking about.
Too bad we couldn't find somebody doing an Eagle Scout project.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
We're gonna put this on hold until we, we're Brian, so we can get some of his stuff. Don't get into it.
All right, so we're saying painting of the curbs, we're just gonna gonna put that on hold. So we'll have that in old business, at our next meeting to bring that up and talk about it. Is there anything else under old business we want to discuss?
Are you sending anything to council then?
What we decided to take to council, according to my notes, we talked about taking, the corner's gonna go to striping.
Okay,
If we're putting, the conversation about the curbs on hold, then we should be having the conversation about striping. Council.
I've got an officer on the way over to measure that stripe too.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, so I guess old business, we checked that off. How about, is there anything under new business?
So what we took to council was the chief, he wanted to buy a door and stuff. That's what we took to council. And that was about the
Garage
door.
doors.
Yeah, sorry, we did, because we said we agreed, we want to look at that door number 1. So that's also something, because Brian, you already have.
I don't think that needs to go to council. That don't
I
need
mean,
to.
that wasn't brought up to us.
It's just spending money.
Just spending money, throwing it appropriate.
Okay, I still missed that one, that's what I was like, that didn't- okay. So anything else that needs to go to council?
That's just routine business. Now, if to council, if it was $15,000, then I would say, yeah, that would be something that,
And we won't hear anything else.
but I would have to formulate another ordinance to reappropriate it.
Okay, okay,
Here we go.
all right. All right, so anything else? I'll go ahead and move on then. New business. Anything else? Is there anything, nothing under new business? All right.
I'm gonna go put my windows in the windows.
Oh, okay.
I think you say wrap it up.
Okay, with that, our next meeting is going to be August 28th, following service approximately 6:30 to 6:45. So would anybody like to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make my picture.
I'll second that motion. Okay, so we hold meeting at 6:51.
He, that guy told us, you guys know, but he said we should probably plan over the next 3, not counting this year, over the next 3 years, replace some of those doors. They're all, you know, they're, the other
Mute myself. Start the video. And
Yeah, the meeting was the. where's-
Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Can we have the roll call, please, for the council, for July 24th?
Cosgrove,
Present.
Foreman,
Present.
Heller,
Present.
Litz,
Present.
McCreary,
Present.
and Schaffner is absent.
Yeah, the approval of the minutes of June 10th, please.
Before we make the motion, we approve the minutes as written.
McCreary seconds.
Which minute?
Oh, I am so sorry. Yes, we have 2 minutes to approve. We have the public hearing. Let's,
Do that one first.
yeah, let's do the
Before we
public
make the
hearing.
motion that we approve the minutes of the public hearing as written.
And McCreary seconds.
And roll call, please.
Foreman,
Yes.
McCreary,
Yes.
Litz,
Yes.
Keller,
Yes.
and Cosgrave.
Yes.
And now may I have approval of the minutes of the council meeting on June 10th?
Foreman makes a motion, we approve the council minutes of June 10th, was it?
June 10th. or
Not July
July
10th.
10th, as
Sorry.
written, as written. Keller seconds.
Roll call, please.
Foreman,
Yes.
Keller,
Yes.
Cosgrave,
Yes.
Litz,
Yes.
McCreary.
And
Yes.
may I have the approval of the agenda of tonight's meeting?
Foreman makes a motion to approve the agenda. Second. Keller.
Roll call, please.
Foreman, Keller,
Yes.
Litz,
Yes.
Schaffner, not Schaffner's not here, McCreary,
Yes.
Cosgrave.
Yes.
And then we have visitors for tonight. We have Rick Ellis, and I'm sorry that we missed.
I'm sure Walter.
Okay. Do either of you want to speak to this meeting? We're just kind of here to visit. Perfect. All right. Village administration reports. Okay. I didn't remember that. I'm supposed to do a mayor's report. So what I can tell you is I made the decision for trick or treat to be on Halloween from 5 to 7, which is the 31st of October.
Okay, that next,
Somebody was asked. Pardon?
good day of the week.
What is it,
It was a
Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Okay, thank you.
And
Is it like 6 to 7:30 normally?
I don't know, I said 5 to 7 just to make it,
Okay,
but, or to make it earlier, but,
okay.
and then, the water break that we had this week, I did a boil advisory, boil alert, whatever you wanna call it. And it's supposed to be for 72 hours, so that will be done tomorrow night and midnight. I don't believe any contaminants happened. The water was fine, I should say. But it was the sediments that were in the pipes that would give me a little bit of a problem. So that's why I issued the oil advisory. That's it. That's all I know. So. Okay. How about the village administrator is absent tonight. He had a personal emergency. So fiscal officer, please.
Yes, couple things. I actually have something. I forgot to mention this 2 weeks ago, but I got an email from Rita. I signed the village up for a non-filers program. I do this every 2 to 3 years, where they notify residents who haven't filed their taxes. This is their time to do that and catch them up. And they informed me that they issued approximately 1,232 non-filer letters out that were mailed that neglected to file any kind of an income tax return. So that went 2 weeks ago. They probably won't do that till they used to do it here in this in this area here, and that probably won't happen till like I'll find out more, but it's probably like October-ish or sometime then. But basically, that's one of the things I forgot to tell you about 2 weeks ago. And the other issue, not really an issue, but the other thing I wonder, how the street lights. I have the electricity. I have signed an agreement for a fixed rate for the electricity between now and June of 2026. Well, I had a representative from AEP come in last week and was trying to sell me on to lock in some rates. And I said, well, no, I'm pretty good at, where we're at on until June of 2026. I said, however, my streetlights, I said, for some reason or another, that company couldn't put the streetlights on our program. So he went back to his office. By the way, the current rate, just to let you know, we pay 0.5539 per kilowatts. The going rate right now is 0.118. So we're 50% below that. But anyway, I was able to sign up the street lights through the AEP. We're going to be getting kilowatts. We're going to charge kilowatts of 0.05997 between now and the next 36 months. So I just wanted to give you so maybe that'll help.
So it went from 0.1 to 0.05.
Mhm.
Excellent.
So that hopefully those I'll start to see, probably not next month, but start to see, maybe the price of the streetlights will level off where we can.
And that was just because
He came in and dropped by the office, and I said, yeah, I'll talk to you. And I showed him the other agreements that I had, and he said, don't change those. He goes, that's a good rate. He told me what the rates were at the time, 0.118, and we're getting at 0.053. And I said, well, I just had an issue with the streetlights. I said, for some reason they couldn't do it. I gave him a copy of the bill. He went back to his office, came back and said, I can get you 0.505. What did I say? 05.
What do you mean? 0.05?
0.059.
Say 0.5.
I meant point 0.05997.
Oh, that's a zero.
Yeah.
So, would be nice to get the whole village signed up. Remember how we did that?
But I do. I have the whole village. Oh, you mean?
I mean, in residents.
Oh,
Remember we did that one to the county?
well, we're through the county, that aggregation program. A lot of people don't understand. They think that is they get upset that
Trying to change their supplier without their consent.
and
when they do that.
and they think it's junk mail and they throw it away. And I had an email from, and what they don't realize is they can sign up anytime. I mean, I got the contact information. I can give to them. They can call. They'll work with them, get them signed up. And that's every 2 years they do that. And the town of this village voted on that before I started here. And because I didn't know anything about it, and I did some research, and I saw that the village had approved to be part of this program, and the residents don't.
I know.
They don't take advantage of it.
When you get to that energy choice website, you'd be shocked at how widely the rates vary from one.
But the current rate of AEP is 0.118. We're getting 0.05. So I just wanted to let you know that.
Okay, is there anything else with this fall?
I don't know. Maybe if they have any questions.
So would you like to sign a paper that you're a visitor? And would you like to speak?
Please.
Was
wondering why there was a police officer out measuring it out.
Information purposes. We were,
Yeah, what?
truly information purposes.
Painting the
We
curbs.
were discussing how far the yellow curves extend from the intersection at a different intersection. And that one was measured as an example to give us information.
I spoke to him and he said, I don't know. But
Strictly informational purposes, nothing to do with that intersection at all.
well, and obvious.
Right, yeah,
Fair question.
that whole thing has been dropped.
Yeah.
And I thought so, but yeah, I seen him not measuring. I was like,
We're trying to. find
Nobody's trying to find anything past
to
it.
use at other curbs. where
Yeah,
we
we've got-
painted.
Yeah, there's other curves where there's a visibility issue, but we were discussing what the proper distance should be.
appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Mr. Jim, would you like to sign the paper and would you like to speak?
I don't think. It's third reading.
Just like no.
No, there's no requirement. to Sign anything or speak.
All right, perfect. All right. The next administration report is the solicitor, please.
Two new pieces of legislation on the agenda for first reading. The first is resolution 2023-12. I'm not going to read the entire title heading because it's so long, but that authorizes the village administrator to file a grant application for assistance from the Federal Land and Water Conservation Fund, which is overseen by ODNR. For the purchase, it should say purchase instead of purpose, purchase and improvement of 221 East Elmwood Drive. Second piece of legislation is ordinance 2023-13, which is an ordinance to amend the 2023 appropriations ordinance. That's for funding for the purchase of that parcel. Neither of those need to be considered for passage this evening. So the projected closing date on the purchase of that isn't until late August. And it's going to be a while for us to gather up all of the documents and paperwork and forms in order to complete and submit that grant application. But good news is we did submit a request for a waiver of retroactivity. The grant application is pretty strict in its mention or advisory, basically, that the village shouldn't sign off on, shouldn't close on the property until it's submitted the grant application and the grant application is under review. But we can file a request for a waiver of that requirement because of unusual circumstances. And in this case, the owner of the property wants to move forward quickly with a sale of the property. So we submitted those reasons to ODNR, and earlier today we received confirmation that that waiver has been granted. So, which is good. So that gives us time to get everything in order that we need to submit that grant application. And that's all.
Any questions for the solicitor? Okay. Village Council committee reports, please. Finance.
Mayor, we didn't have a meeting tonight, but our next meeting will be August 14th at 6 o'clock.
Thank you. How about the service?
Service met this evening. We did get some information on the BDRC is moving forward with installing windows. They're going to be probably ahead of schedule and under budget with that, which is good news for the village. Also, we had the resolution 2023-14 come out of committee, as well as the ordinance that the solicitor just mentioned for appropriations 2023-13. Our next meeting is August 28th at 6 p.m.
Safety committee, please.
Yes, Mayor, we did meet this evening. Some of the items we spoke about, we were discussing some of the general, or I should say, maybe not general, but some maintenance issues that need to be taken care of over at the police station. We also ordered some new parking signs, make sure we have those. Our conversations were continued in terms of the corner of Mulberry and Main and wanting to paint that curb to make sure we can improve visibility at that intersection. And we also talked about the striping of Main Street. We would like to continue those conversations. Should I also mention that it was brought to the attention by Councilman Foreman in regards to the parking issue that's been brought to his attention over at High Street, correct?
I want to include that in.
Yes. So, okay, so our next meeting will be held August 28th, and that will be following service.
Thank you. Rules Committee?
Mayor Rules did not meet tonight. Our next meeting is August.
Public safety reports. The police department, please.
We talked earlier, we've got officers back from, training. And, so we're good to go for the school resource officers. We talked about the door being replaced. We had damage there. And, also we ordered parking signs. We are, pretty much ready to go for the, festival.
Perfect. As a joint fire district, we still do not have a person for that. I just have to buckle down and appoint one of you people. We're just, again, I can get the minutes, but we're missing a vote. That's what we're doing by not having a person there. So I think I have it narrowed down, but it might be next time. Village committees, planning and zoning. Do we have anything?
Well, I know that the July meeting was canceled.
Right.
And the next one will be, well, of course, August the 10th,
August what?
10th is the next one. I think there is something on it. There's a variance on that one.
So, that one.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. We don't have any information from the tree commission or the records commissioners. Do I have any new motions?
Yes, Foreman makes a motion that we bypass rules and, change the council meeting time. We'll leave it on the second and fourth Monday, but change the council meeting time to 7 p.m. after committee meetings of 30 minutes each, starting at 6.
Do I have a second?
Second. Oh, second. Keller,
Do I have a discussion?
I just say it's a good thing because most of our committee meetings are short. And that gives us more time to, in between the, get time and just, and visitors and the VA, maybe get out here soon on Monday night.
Expect everyone's time.
Okay. Anyone else? Do I have a roll call, please?
Foreman,
Yes.
Keller,
Yes.
Cosgray,
Yes.
McCreary,
Yes.
Litz.
Yes.
Foreman makes that we bypass safety and repeal ordinance 2017-2. That is the ordinance that made the intersection of Market and Basel be no turn on, right turn on red during certain hours. And I believe most people find it unnecessary.
McCreary seconds.
Discussion?
And I'm sorry, that's to bypass committee on that?
Bypass committee.
Yeah.
Also, I have to bypass committee and then I have to make the motion to do it.
Well, no. All you need to do is bypass committee on it and then I'll prepare the ordinance.
Okay.
What was it?
I made the motion.
Yeah, and McCreary seconded, but what was the ordinance, the number of the ordinance again? That was that quirky.
2017.
I think there's more to it than that. That was when we were doing funky numbering back then.
9-25-2017-2.
925. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Roll call.
Roll call, please.
Foreman,
Yes.
McCreary,
Yes.
Keller,
Yes.
Litz,
Yes,
and Cosgray.
Yes.
right there. Any other motions? No. All right, first reading ordinance is 2020-12. Oh, do I have a sponsor on this?
Yeah, that was, Brent come out and recommend.
Okay, resolution authorizing the village administrator to submit a grant application and provide all information and documentation required to become eligible for possible funding assistance from the Federal Land and Water Conservation Fund, administered by the Ohio Department of Natural Resources for the purpose and improvement of partial addresses to 21 East Elmwood for public recreation purposes. And I'm sorry, who's my sponsor? Foreman, gotcha.
I think everyone was at that meeting tonight, and this is just on for first reading, so we're letting it run the full 3 readings.
Perfect. Ordinance 2023-13, an ordinance to amend the 2023 appropriation ordinance.
This is mine as well. Again, this is the first reading. It's on for full 3 readings, and we're just gonna give the public an opportunity to weigh in if they should.
Perfect. We don't have any second readings or third readings. Ordinance 2023-11, ordinance to amend the 2023 appropriations ordinance. You resolve so, please.
Yeah, let me go remind myself what this one is.
This is to pay the engineers for the
Yeah, this is
OPWC.
to pay the engineers for
The
the
OPWC.
OPWC money, and this is the 3rd reading, so we'll make some motion to adopt.
Do I have a second? Do I have discussion? Roll call, please.
Foreman,
Yes.
Keller,
Yes.
Cosgray,
Yes.
Litz,
Yes.
McCreary.
Yes.
Motion passed. Ordinance 2023-12, an ordinance to rezone 0 North Main Street from general business district to mixed residential village district. The sponsor is McCreary.
Yes, we've talked about this several times. This is the area that's over on the other side, down there on Main Street. And we're looking to rezone that area from the general business to mixed residential. This is the 3rd reading, so I'd like to make a motion to adopt 2023-12.
For a second.
Perfect. Roll call. I'm
Discussion.
sorry, discussion. Any questions, any discussion?
I heard residents against it, but I didn't find anything compelling.
And I would like to note we did hold a public meeting
Yes, we
that
do.
we've heard both sides.
Roll call.
McCreary,
Yes.
Foreman,
Yes.
Litz,
Yes.
Keller,
Yes.
Cosgray.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Mayor, if I can adjust something.
Sure.
Just a point of correction on ordinance 2023-13, that will need to be passed at the next council meeting, which would be on August 14th, unless the closing is delayed. So, because the seller desires to have a closing on August 18th. So, but my understanding is he's flexible with regard to that. So if the closing's bumped out, then that can go for 3 readings. But if it's not, I'll be asking council to consider adopting that.
So you'll check with him. If we can push it, we will push it, which I would prefer because there's money involved.
Sure.
But if it's gotta happen, it's gotta happen.
I'll keep council updated on that. So the other one is fine to go reading. So the resolution.
I think I got
Okay,
it.
we don't have any tabled ordinances, no any old business.
I'd like to say one thing. Sure. You know, the fire department and a bunch of kids, they did an outstanding job over at the park. I've seen them over there putting all that mulch down. They were at it.
It's happening again. It's when we get a vote. I think they're gonna finish that and they're gonna.
Oh, okay, they did a good job.
I saw it on Facebook, it looked nice.
So it's like 8.
They was all- they got it done in 5 minutes, and I so much hell.
I'd also like to note something. I'm really am pleased to see that we have a new site that's been put out there on Facebook, that the village is actually posting official notices and information for clarification. And I also really like the website, the new layout of the village website.
That was done just last week.
I like it.
Muni Link, they made a modification and that went live last Friday.
It is more intuitive. So well done.
What's nice?
I'm just putting that out there.
But I'll relay that on the Muni Link. Yeah, because I was frantic. I said, how am I gonna
Because we
post?
talked about how it was not intuitive, it was more difficult, but I like that the meetings and such, it's posted right there on the homepage. We're not trying to.
Well, I was freaking out Friday when I was trying to put the bid advertisement on and I had to wait till they were done changing and I didn't know how to do it. And I was like, I need to post this now, not Monday. I will really relay that on.
New business. Do we have any new business? New business. I have something. Who's gonna mow this property up here?
Which
I
property?
know.
Which property?
The
Where the
property
house, building
between,
got torn down.
where this is, you probably don't know. I apologize.
One
for
would
looking
assume
at you, But
I would assume the owner.
and it's already like this tall. How do we?
Well, based on past history, they would get a letter. And if it's not mowed, then we mow it and then put it on their taxes.
So we should have let her say.
Okay.
Okay. Good job to the crew. There was a lot of work and many hours put in on that water main break.
Yes, they really did a good job.
Yeah.
And then new kids, they were new kids and they were down in the pit and they're just, it was amazing. Had to hold them back, jumping in. But, yeah. All right, any other visitors have anything else to say? Comment? Patrick? Last call for anything else? No. Next meeting will be held on second Monday in August. I guess we're still at 7:30 for right now. Anything else?
Former makes a motion to adjourn.
Roll call. All in favor?
All in
say
favor, say
aye.
aye.
Thank you. Perfect.
Yeah, you're bored.
Thank you.
Yeah, I sent you an email with that, Brian.
I didn't get it. I didn't get
Well, good luck next week.
I only put it through this one.
Yeah.